Jay, the first question comes from Denise. Can you explain again how the Red Sky Anywhere service is priced out?
Yeah, no doubt. So basically, there's a setup fee. It's a single charge of $5,800 one time, and you're done. Right. So once you set up the charge, that one single charge goes away. What you'll see then is a monthly charge for ELINs, Emergency Location Identification Number, and virtual offices might be on a 1-to-1 ratio. Road warriors might be on a 1-to-1 ratio, but branches that might have 5 to 10 phones in them might be able to share a common ELIN. So as I was talking about the ROI possibility there, if you've got 10 folks in a branch and really all you're looking to do is get the response to the front door because it's such a small location that should be enough. It's $2 a month versus having to put a line in a gateway at $40 a month. So those are the two charges. You've got the one setup fee and then the number of ELINs that are needed to get either as granular or high level as you're looking to get.
We have a question from Barbara. What is the command to program the 911 location within the PBX?
So basically what you're doing is you're setting up tables with, and it depends on the PBX, so I think that's probably a good question to handle offline, but basically what you're setting up is tables from a 911 perspective. When I see 911, I can set up a trunk group to dial this, our service, and then forward along with it whatever you want to forward along. Is that a DID? Is it the ELIN information? And that can be programmed differently PBX by PBX, so it's really need to handle that one offline to give you the specific command and exactly what would be needed.
I have a question from Jim. What happens if a new extension was added, but we forgot to add it to the service? Would the 911 call be routed at all?
Yeah, great question, and absolutely that is the case. That's one of the things I talked about with the service that we hear commonly, and folks will go, what if I forget? Because it is a manual process, right? If I make a change, I need to make the change at the service. But if I forget, what happens? So there is a 7x24, 365 manned call center for 911 nationwide that is answered and can be routed down to any 911 center anywhere in the country. So it's dealt with on a manual basis, live basis rather than an automated basis.
Jay, we have one more question from April. If you have a hosted solution or the hybrid solution, do you have to update the location of employees in both systems?
If I have a hybrid, so if E911 Manager is in the equation, if that's what you mean by hybrid, if I have E911 Manager in the equation, any updates to the PBX, it's going to see automatically. So there's event notifications that come from Communications Manager or whatever the PBX is to E911 Manager. We see that change being made, and we will automatically go out and communicate that information to our service. Or a PS Alley database. Now, I forgot to mention this, and appreciate you bringing this up because it allows me to do so. One thing that is very unique to our service is, especially if you use it as kind of a national PS Alley database, any updates to our database are instantaneous. As they're made, they're real time. So there is no 24-hour lag period like there is with the PS Alley. But in answer to your question, if you're in the hybrid approach, which is E911 Manager is in the equation as well as Anywhere, E911 Manager will automatically update Anywhere. If Anywhere is on its own, it is manual. So as you make a change on the PBX, you need to make the change in the Anywhere service. But if you're talking about branches where phones really don't move that very much, and you're not doing a lot of ads, it's a perfect application. Again, the Anywhere. I'll give you an example. This was not an Avaya deployment, but it was a deployment to a very large retail establishment where they had 5,000 stores. And I was talking to the gateway manufacturer at a recent show, and he was telling me about the deployment. And I asked him, I said, "How are you dealing with 911?" He said, "Well, we sell gateways, and we put a line in every gateway for 911." So that's the only reason they needed it. Survivability wasn't an issue. No, because they could use their cell phones. It's a small store, not a big deal. Okay, well, 5,000 times $40 is a whole lot of money that we could have done for $2 times 5,000, which would have been, the math on that is astronomical as far as ROI. So, it has a fit. Not for everyone, but it has a fit, and where it does, it can be truly a huge cost benefit as well.